Hi everybody, I'm going to give you a guidance on COM1 by using a sample data set. So all the steps I'm going to show you by using this data set. Only thing you're going to do differently is that you're going to use the PASTAR or US data set, which is much more larger than this one. Okay, so here you go. First, let me go back and forth. So what is the requirement? Calculate the following: the mean, standard deviation, skew, and so on. 5-number summary. So calculate that. I'm going to go back to my sample data set right here. So first, oh no, there is something else also. It's a insert a new column in the database and calculate the annual sales. Okay, annual sales are multiplying the square footage by the sales per square footage. Okay, so when I go there to my Excel page, I already entered the column. You're going to enter this column by insert command. Then I'm going to go here, click on this, and then I'm going to type F6 B6. So I'm going to say here equal to F6 times B6. You can see sales per square multiplied by square foot. Enter, and I got this number. And now I just take my cursor there until the positive sign shows up, and then hold my left mouse key and drag it down. All of those are now calculated. Okay, so I'm done with the first part. Second part, mean, standard deviation, 5-number summary, and interquartile range. Okay, so to get those, I will use the Excel formula for the mean. So let me just type what I need to calculate, copy. So I'm going to calculate this. I'm going to estimate actually from the sample this. So for the mean, I'm going to type equal to AVERAGE, average, next parenthesis, left parenthesis, and then I'm going to enter the data set. Click on that, hold the shift key, and bring it down. Bring it down all the way here. Okay? And then right parenthesis. Enter. So that gave me the mean. So if you take that, you'll see the average B6 to B30. And my data set is from B6 right here. B6. You can see B6 to B30. So this is my data set. So formula and then the cell range. That will give me the value. So for standard deviation, I'm going to use the standard deviation formula. So let me just bring it out here. This is standard deviation formula. So for each of those, I have particular formula. So I got the formula. So look at the standard deviation. It's a B11 to B30. Actually, it should be B6 to B30. B6 to B30. So it is B6 to B30. So your formula is stdev dot s, left parenthesis B6 colon B30. Enter. That will give you here. Okay, that is your standard deviation. Skew formula is SKEW, again B6 to B30. Enter. So that is my skew number. Interquartile range, again, this is the formula for the interquartile range. you have to type the whole thing very carefully and then enter the cell range, B6 to B30, and then this is B6 to B30. Now remember, my data set is from B6 to B30, but your data set is going to be much larger because you're using a larger data set, okay? So this is third quartile indicated by 3 minus the first quartile indicated by 1, okay? Enter. And then minimum, again, is equal to min B6 to B30. B6 to B30. And then max, again, max B6 to B30. B6 to B30. And then quartile 1, again, B6 to B30. And 1 means quartile 1. So I got all of these numbers for the first data set, square feet. Square feet for the square feet variable, I got all of these numbers, okay? Now, I got all of these numbers. Now if I want to calculate for the rest of those, what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's say, the frame is a little off, so let me see if I can, let me change the frame. Yes, it does. Okay, so here it is. So now I'm going to calculate all of this for all of these variables right here. However, I do not need to type all that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight all of those, take my cursor until the positive sign shows up. Remember, positive sign has to show up, not this one, but this one, dark positive sign. And then hold the left mouse button and draw it and release it, and you are done. You can see there are numbers here. That means this number is too large. So I'm going to widen it up a little bit. Now I got the number, okay? So now I got all of those numbers that I need, okay? So max min. Now this one is in a parenthesis because the minimum is negative, minus 8 something. Where is it coming from? Right here, minus 8.31. So parenthesis means a negative number. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Excel has its own craziness. If it is in the data set, then it is going to show the negative number. But if it is a calculation, then it's going to give you the sign. For example, here quartile 1 is negative, so it is showing here. Okay. All right. So I got all of those. So let me just do some formatting right here. I want to do the same format. I want to look a little nice. Okay. And then I'm going to, oh, never mind. I just leave it the way it is. Okay. All right. So now, let's see. Now it say, okay, I got all of those, mean, standard deviation, SQ5 number, summary, and so on. So now create the box plot for the annual sales variable. Okay, box plot for the annual sales variable. What are the annual sales? Here the annual sale. So I create the box plot. I highlight the data set all the way here. B5, I take the title also. And then I go to insert. Let me show you the Excel page. I pull it down. I say insert, and then I will say recommended charts, all charts. Then I'm going to choose box and whisker right here, box and whisker. And then I'm going to say OK. And the chart will show up. Okay. And when the chart shows up, I'm going to pull it down to the bottom of the data set. I'm going to pull it down to the bottom of the data set. Let's see. Pull it down to the bottom of the data set. Let me move the frame a little. Okay, here. So I'm going to pull it down, click on this, and then I'm going to pull it down all the way to the bottom of the data set. So it will look very nice. Your data set is nice and clean with your answers. Okay, so this is your box plot, and you can change the title. Click on the title, and then you say box plot for annual sale. Okay, so I'm going to just click on that and type. Box plot for annual sale. Okay, box plot for annual sale. Box plot for annual sale. Yeah, annual sale. So that is the box plot for annual sale. All right. Okay, so here you go. Now, what is next? You got the box plot. Now go to the requirement again. Okay, now create a histogram for sales per square feet variable. So for this variable, sales per square feet, you're going to create the histogram. Okay, here it is. So histogram, sales per square feet, right here. So you're going to create the histogram for this. You're going to do all the data all the way from the title to all the way to B30. All the way to B30. Okay, so this is my data set. So I'm going to, you create the histogram how? I'm going to say insert once again, and then recommended chart, all chart, and then histogram. Click on this, and you got the histogram. Now you choose the histogram. This is your histogram. Okay, you choose this one, you got the histogram. Okay, so once you got the histogram, once again you pull it down all the way to the bottom of the data set. So hold the left mouse key and then hold the left mouse key here and then pull it down. Pull it down right here. Okay, now you got your histogram and your box plot. Okay, now as you calculate for each of those, for both box plot and the histogram, there are some questions you must answer. See, create the box plot. Now there are 2 questions. Histogram, there are 4 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do not answer those questions, your assignment is not done. So you got to make sure that you answer those questions. Okay, where are you going to answer those questions? Well, there is a text box, and you create, either you use the given text box or you create one, the text box, and then you answer those questions. First you write the question and then you answer the question, right? Like this. Create a box plot and so on. Does it look symmetric? Enter. Now you write your answer. Second question. Would you prefer IRQ instead of standard deviation to describe this variable? So dispersion, why or why not? Enter. And you're going to answer that question. Now for histogram, you have answered both questions. Now for box plot, you answered those questions. Now for histogram, you are going to answer these 4 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Is the distribution symmetric? If not, what is the skew? Answer this question right here. Remember, you have to answer all 4 questions very clearly. You cannot just create a document and hide your answer. It's not going to work in that way. So straightforward, in this box plot, you are going to, in this text box, you answer all the question. Now, part 1 is done. Okay? Part 1 is done. Now, part 2 in the second page. So here the part 2, the second page. You can see that part 2, let me go back and see what is part 2 requirement. Part 2 requirement is this. You're going to write a report. Well, however, there's a part you're going to use Excel to create the scatter. So your entire report actually you can create in Excel instead of going through the trouble of creating an Excel and then cutting and pasting in the Word and so on. So I'm showing you that in one document, Excel document, in page 1 and page 2, you can answer all of those questions. So the Excel page, you're going to do the scatter diagram and the regression equations. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And to answer the question again, to the right of the data set, use this box plot. Use this box plot to answer the question. Okay, scope, write down the scope. Analysis, it should be all of this, right? And then you're going to, in your report, you're going to discuss all of this, the recommendation and implementation. You are just done here. If you want to do it in Word, you can do it in Word and cut and paste right there. So in a single submission, you are done, okay? So let me go back to showing you how to create the scatter. So let's see. Scatter, bachelor degree versus sales per square feet. Bachelor degree is right here and the sales per square feet. So I highlight all this. And then I say, then I choose insert, and then I choose scatter, and then choose this scatter. Bingo, I got it. Okay, now this scatter has whole lot more variable. You have annual sales, mid income, mid age. You don't need any of those. So I go there, left mouse click, and then you can see this annual sale. I don't need that. I hit the delete button. It is gone. Red one is mid income. Mid income, I don't need that. Click on the left mouse button, delete. It is gone. Okay, now you have mid age. Look at the color, mid age. Click on that left mouse key and enter, delete. You are done. Okay, now remember, you have to show the regression equation and the line. So to do that is really very, very easy. You click on this plus sign and then it's a trend line, and trend line is showing up. Then click on this and then more option. And when you click more option, this option is going to show up the right side of the page. Okay, so you have a linear and then show, you choose display equation, display R square. Okay, and you are done. So when you go to the here is your scatter, that how it's going to look like. Only thing I'm going to do is drag it down to the clean area. It is extremely important that your reader can see what you have done. You cannot hide your things inside. It is extremely important that it is not hidden. Now you click on this and you drag it down to the bottom of the data set. Okay, bottom of the data set. So in this way, you're going to answer all 4 questions. You're going to answer this: bachelor degree versus sale, mid income versus sale, mid age versus sale, loyalty card versus sale. And then you're going to include the scatter. If you submit it in Excel page, it is already there. You are only going to answer this question. Now remember, if you when you say, okay, what type of, designate the type of relationship you observe. To answer that question, you are not going to say, well, it looks like straight going up. No, it's not going to work. you got to use this regression analysis. So here you need to study some. You have to go to the book and find out what this represents. You got to make an argument. That is important. You cannot just say, well, it looks like it is positive and going up. No, no, no. You're going to say, okay, look at this, R square is too small, 0.08 in this particular case. So whatever you see, beta is 0.01146. What does it mean? So you're going to give me 2 or 3 sentences explaining the relationship. That's what they are asking for, okay? Designate the type of relationship observed. It is very important. You cannot say, oh, well, it looks like increasing and positive by looking at it. No, you cannot just say that by looking at it, I think. So you got to remove all of those. You got to give a valid argument. And everything should be right here, okay, in your analysis. And all the scatters will be there underneath of the data table. You can put one here, next one here, another one here, another one there. So all 4 will fit right there. And your conclusion is going to be on the right side, okay? And you're all set, and it is done. See how long it took? It doesn't take that long at all. But you have to do some prep work. So I gave you the steps, but you got to do the prep work before you start doing your COM1, okay? I hope it helps. If you have any question, you can always contact me in your private folder or in the course questions section, okay? Thank you, everybody. Best of luck.